This is the risk takers. These are the entrepreneurs that are starting and the startups that are onto something. Many of you in the room have taken those risks, some of you doing it now. These guys are starting up, but the best part about startups is to find out really what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they got started. So let's first introduce ourselves, starting down the end. Just give you a quick intro who you are.
Hi, I'm Melissa Kwan. I'm the CEO of Spacio.
Spacio.
Hello, I am Heather Siddick-Jackson, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Relola.
Relola.
Hi, I'm Taylor Glassmore, and I'm the COO of Zumper.
Hi, I'm Mitch Riback, and I am the CEO of Inside Sales Agents.
Hey, I'm John Kvasnik. I'm the product manager of Open House.
Open House, awesome. Well, you know, the first thing that intrigues me about startups is usually there's been a problem that you found, a hole in the system. You started something because of that. Hopefully there's a reason behind it. So I want to find out, we'll start down the end if you don't mind. I know you got a busy schedule today. You want to get going?
No, I'm all yours.
Let's start. Was there a problem? Why did you get started? Tell us the reasoning and then why you built what you built.
We built Spacio, a paperless open house solution, to make pen and paper obsolete in open houses. When I was an agent in Canada, where I'm originally from, I ran a lot of open houses, and collecting leads on pen and paper is just inefficient, it's archaic, there's no continuation, and we decided to build the next generation of paperless open house to solve that problem.
Okay, so totally digital open house platform, and we'll go into what's next down the road. So that's the hole in the system you found. How about yourself, Heather? Are you sharing mics? Got handoff, and then we'll jump around.
Well, I created Relola after spending 25 years in the market as an agent and then a broker with multiple locations. And seeing the problem that we face as agents gaining traction in a market and defining our own market. So I wanted a tool that would allow my agents to get a leg up and define themselves quickly. And Relola does this by allowing agents to provide property previews for the listings that they've visited. And that data shows up next to the standard data on our site, which gives them the opportunity to define their market by choosing a price range or a property style or even a neighborhood where they can essentially demonstrate their expertise and share it with consumers.
Okay. So what would you say the first problem was you found that made you start this? What was the core?
The problem is that it's very difficult to gain traction and stand out as an expert in a market because we do a limited number of deals each year. So on other search sites, agents show up as nothing more than a headshot and a phone number, often next to a home they haven't visited.
Taylor, Zumper.
So I used to be a broker at Coldwell Banker for about 6 years, and I created Zumper to simplify the rental process, to basically make it easier to market a rental listing and screen renters, because that's how I built my business early on when it was really difficult to get sales listings. So, but doing rentals, no one wanted to do them because they just take so much time, and there's not too much commission there. So we built Zumper to simplify the process down to screening a renter live time at the property in literally just a few minutes.
Awesome. And we're going to dive deeper into that too. Let's go to Mitch.
So I own a brokerage in Melbourne, Florida with 100 agents, and 8 years ago, after losing all my hair because the agents wouldn't call their leads, I know, and you can all relate to that, I know, I decided I had to create something that would work in my brokerage. So for the past 8 years, we've been honing our skills at creating sales from our website at a rate of about 4.5% every year. And so we've decided, after being asked by 1 billion people to do it for them, we've decided to actually launch and do that.
So basically an ISA service of converting leads.
Yes, we go into your brokerage and actually work in your brokerage and help you and your agents convert more leads.
Can anybody use some help converting leads in their brokerages? John, go for it.
Hey, I started off as a technology guy. We looked at, there's about 40 to 60 million people each month searching real estate, either on their desktop or on their telephone. And yet only about 4 to 5 million homes a year are purchased. And so our hypothesis was that, people are using the tools out there to answer questions that they have and to find homes and do a bunch of other things. But when we looked at the tools, considering buying a home is kind of the most emotional purchase of your life, the tools were really limited to, location, price range, bedroom count, and we were like, how about some of the more important things like the lifestyle considerations, being near a great school, or I want a DIY opportunity, or I want a home with a certain style, or I want this kind of kitchen. And we were kind of like, can we take it down to the next level where people are really getting everything that they're looking for? Because when we looked at the current process, there was a lot of searching and then a ton of filtering and clicking. And so our goal is really, how do we make all that simple? How do we give you transparency? How do we show you everything?
How do you differentiate the brand being called Open House, or the Open House is the website domain, from the typical open house type product? Because I thought that was, might be, it's a branding issue, or is it a branding play? How does that spin?
It's a good door opener for us.
So it is. So you want that.
You know what? For us, open house means transparency. It's all about sort of being a trusted source where we show you everything. So you're seeing, everything about the house, everything about the neighborhood, the neighbors, full transparency. And that's kind of the concept behind it.
Okay. Cool. I'm just going to bounce around a little bit, guys, so just if you don't mind, just to mix it up a little bit. So Zumper, why Zumper? Like, why would I go to your portal? What's different? What am I going to do there that I can't do anywhere else? Or
Sure. So what makes Zumper unique is that, unlike some of the other search sites, we're a search to close site. So we have about 4 million visits a month. We got a lot of traffic, and we also have the ability for these renters to one-click apply to listings. So while we have agents who are using our screening tool proactively and marketing on our site, we also have renters, and especially in competitive markets, they're walking into units, and they don't want to fill out a paper application on our back refrigerator and then wait several days to be screened. They want to apply on site. So we enable them to do that. We're the only ones that do it.
Okay, cool. Let's talk Spacio for a second. Were there competitors in your space already? Did you seek out to just do something different from them? Because there are others in that space. What's your thought process of being different?
There are definitely others in that space. I mean, if you guys have been in the business for a while, there's a dominator out there.
Sure.
And I think what makes us uniquely different is that we're really, really good at delivering beautiful and simple mobile experiences to the buyer and also the agent. So if you look at our product, you put it side by side with some other things that you've seen, you'll know that we are not just another open house product that helps you capture the lead, because we understand that we're in the branding business. We built something that helps make you look good in front of the customer, which is extremely important when somebody comes into your open house. This person could be your buyer or your seller. How are you being identified along with the tools that you have?
Yeah.
So that's something that we do uniquely well on the front end. And on the back end, we're the next generation. We're built on the latest technology. We've been live for about 5 months. So everything we've built is responsive. It's on the iPad. It's offline. Like it's absolutely stunning. And we understand that that's important for adoption, especially in this day and age when people care about quality.
Right. Good. Thank you. And I'm going to go to Relola because did you pick that name so I could say Ricola?
I absolutely did. It was just for you, Jeff.
I can't. Is that a branding
That's
play?
another story.
So give me how the name come about? Right?
The name?
Yeah, the name.
Well, we actually had a long list of names, and we did market research, which meant that my co-founder and I sat down, looked at this list, and said yes, no, maybe so. And then we drank a lot of wine, and we decided that Relola sounded good.
See, wine has a factor. Just note. Drink wine?
Actually, no. We really like the name because it's evocative of real estate without pinning it to anything in particular. And that's the whole thing about our site. It's about real estate, but it's not about one specific part. It's about real estate as a world that we all live in and how we can contribute and provide transparency to that world. And Relola is wonderful because it allows us to market in every country, and we're going to be live in a number of countries this year. So it's given us that opportunity, and it doesn't mean anything in any language.
Awesome. There you go. All right, Mitch, let's go to the ISA model. Big need. What are your thoughts on how you're going to offer this? How is it going to actually help agents or the cold calling or that whole mentality of what they're not doing well?
Right. So there's multiple parts of the product. The main product is we put it in ISA in your office. It's locally trained. Local real estate licensed, and we train them out of our offices in Melbourne, in Florida. That is, some people thought I was from Australia. Same accent, I guess. And and then we actually coach them on coaching your agents. So it's not just about the phone calls, which obviously we do about 6 hours of calls per day. But on top of that, we have to actually sit down with your agents and teach them how to be better at lead conversion, when they go out with customers and when we work with them. And it's a full product to get them to do that.
And just not to get too deep into the model, but we don't. It's something unique about it. We don't pay you until you get a conversion or something.
Well, there is a flat rate, but the flat rate goes away once it's a commission-based model, so you're only paying us for production. But there is some flat rates for the first few months while we get rolling, because it's a very expensive process for us to actually put someone in your office and have them working your database on top of that. And we will be offering, as you mentioned a little while ago, we'll be offering shortly in about 6 months a cold call product, which will take care of that aspect of your calling business, basically a full service calling center.
Yeah, awesome. Because that's a real big issue on getting conversions done. So John, can we talk about Agent Ace for a second?
Sure.
About the it's part of your product, right?
It is.
So on Agent Ace, you kind of elect, I guess the title, what do you call it? It's actually finding a top real estate agent, I guess, in your market. What criteria, what data are you using to determine who's a top agent in that market when you're matching that up? And if you could explain Agent Ace, and then,
Sure.
then the question of how do you determine that?
Sure, we're able to look at any location, any price range, any buyer or seller needs, and then we use data, 3 years historical.
Okay, so it's pulling their MLS data of transactions, and are you looking at transactions, sides?
We're looking at everything.
Whole picture.
Everything.
Okay.
Right, and then we're able to recommend the top agents for the client's particular needs.
Okay.
Based on that, and I think it's like I don't do that part of it, but I think it's based on actually like 32 different criteria. So things involving the price, days on market, neighborhood averages, things like that. It's very, very comprehensive.
Okay.
And we're able to recommend the most suitable agent based on that.
And have you found any sensitive real estate agents that could be potentially sensitive to who's not a top agent that should be a top agent? Have you found that yet?
You know what? The data is constantly refreshed, so it's really a matter of who's the top performing person right now. And what I would say is there's the opportunity based on the data for that to constantly change, right?
Yeah, because I just could feel the tension of some of the producers based on who they think they are and who they're not, and who they how it ranks. But it's a cool product. I just wanted to make sure it was understood, and so you have an algorithm that'll figure that out, looking at all the MLS data, assuming it's reported properly. Yeah,
it is, and what I've seen is overwhelmingly positive response. The nice thing that we're doing is we do quite a bit of work up front. We're not delivering a lead.
Right.
We are delivering a customer.
Customer, yeah.
Right, and we've got a full customer experience. That's what the open house is all about, where they're going through, and we're kind of pushing them down the funnel. So a lot of agents are really happy because there's no, they don't have to drive the lead and further qualify them.
Sure.
They're fully qualified, right?
Yep. Good. Thank you for answering that. I was questioning that myself. So, all right. So we've got a few minutes left. I want to talk about what you guys are doing next. What's the next level for you guys? Platform? Is it expansion? Let's start down the end. You've been quiet down there and not yelling
I like how
at me
you
or
mixed up
anything.
a little bit there in the middle.
We have this kind of a
Yeah,
connection here.
so what's next for us? We have a ton of integrations coming up. Right now, if you come onto our platform, we're integrated with some CRM, some marketing companies, but there's a long list of companies that we are integrating with, because we're all about streamlining processes, and we know that we can't be the best at everything. So we want to make sure that whatever you're using, that our product works really well with your existing workflow, but also streamlines and doesn't take you outside of what you're comfortable with.
So you're going to stick to your core, not try and build everything, just partner with those.
Yeah,
who
I
do
think
it
it's
best.
important to know who you
About
are
time people
and be really good
start
at
doing
that.
that.
And one of the things that's in our platform already, that is kind of partially in the future, we added open house reporting that really aggregates the efforts that you have and tells you what your busiest open house was, so you can make appropriate marketing spend, how many leads you've collected over time, be able to really take your efforts and aggregate it into an intelligent way to help you make better decisions on sales and marketing.
Okay.
And we want to take lead capture further than just capturing that lead. We want to help you focus your efforts. We know that you're busy. So if 20 people come into your open house, we're working on an algorithm to determine who are the best and most likely customers that you should focus your time on.
Good.
And that's coming out in the next couple months.
Thank you. Let's just go right down the line. Heather,
All right.
what's next for you guys for Relola?
Relola is coming out with some wonderful features which will enable agents to connect in real time with consumers. So consumers might favorite a listing on Relola, and once an agent has checked in, maybe they're doing a property preview at the property right then,
Yeah.
all the consumers who have favorited it or are actually looking at it online will get a ping that says, there's an agent here right now. So I can say, oh my gosh, I really want to know about 123 Green Street. And I can ask that agent, can you tell me, is the master bedroom on the main floor? The agent can respond, and if the agent says yes, I'm going to get really excited. I might be at the grocery store checking out. So I'm like, hey, can you just hang on 10, 15 minutes? I really want to see this house.
Right.
Instantly, you get a showing.
Great. Good point. Zumper, what's next?
So for us, it's really actually about focusing on our existing products
Yeah.
and unifying the product line. So when you first start a company and you're building a lot of product, you can suddenly get kind of product ADD and kind of want to keep building. But we're now at the point where it's really about refining what we have and just maintaining that and just trying to be the best at that we can be.
Cool. Mitch.
We've just launched the first call agent and the inside sales agent. We are launching in June or July. We'll have our post-call agents, which will be doing one of the things as a broker that you don't know is your customer service metrics of your agents. So we'll be doing, after you close a sale, we will be calling your customers and doing a customer service survey and then reporting back to the broker with that information. And we'll also be offering our cold call product, which will be setting up listing appointments for companies.
Great. John.
Cool.
What's next?
I think it's pretty big. We're doing a fully curated experience. So every other app out there is driven by search. And what we're doing is really, we're going to look at all the MLS listings every single day. We're going to understand what's important to you, and then we're going to curate that content around lifestyle, neighborhood, what's going on, homes in your area, all kinds of different ways. And really what's going to happen is the need for the person to do the search every day is going to go away. And what they're going to get is like almost like a magazine just for them with curated collections of content.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys. Hey, we're out of time. Give these guys a big round of applause. We were a little long today, but thank you guys very much.